Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I want to go over quite a few things that I believe are signals pointing towards a possible firing on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And of course, this is all alleged and certainly just my opinion. It seems like the reality TV show gods are shining a light on Martell Holt. It just seems like this is high time. If OWN were to do the responsible thing, I definitely see him possibly being fired and not coming back for season 7 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Allegedly, and in my opinion, this is on a rumor level in case he is watching, or even Carlos King. So, like I said, there's quite a few things that I want to talk about. Now, before we get into the details, of course, I ask politely that you please hit the like button on this video. Even if you were to hit the dislike button, it works the same because then YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy conversing about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So hitting one of those buttons, it really stimulates the video, if you will, and I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. All right, so let's get down to business. Now, certainly the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. And again, it's just my opinion. So now there are some obvious signals that we are all well aware of. There is the upcoming interview that Martell has done with Tasha K. It will premiere on her app. Shout out to Chef Don Don. He actually read from her community post on her website that she will upload Martell's interview either Wednesday or Friday of this week. And my goal is to go ahead and subscribe to watch the interview and then bring you all the details of what he said. I feel like this interview is an obvious signal that he could be getting released from Love and Marriage Huntsville because it's supposed to be such an expose and very explosive. And I mean, you would only expose, your coworkers and possibly your employer, unless you are out the door, so that's an obvious reason, in my opinion. Another obvious signal is Carlos saying on camera for the show, because they filmed the podcast tour kickoff in Huntsville, Alabama for season 7, him saying to Melody on camera that he did not know that she endured as much as she did. And we all find that to be ludicrous because so many wonderful content creators have covered the Revenge Peace story for nearly a year and a half now. And, they were expressing themselves on social media in the summer of 2022. So that's like a blind man could see that she had been threatened with Revenge P, allegedly. So how could you not know? So I feel like that is an obvious sign, a CYA move, cover your, just in case this litigation issue really becomes deep and could involve the network and additional people. Now, some more subtle signs, almost I would say, some people might use the word spiritual, some might say cosmic or energetic. I would say like on a wavelength. I feel like the networks are realizing that they cannot just allow, crazy ill behavior to happen towards reality TV stars. According to people.com, as well as Kempire here on YouTube and other media outlets, Bravo has fired Monica Garcia from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. A few weeks ago, I made a video about this because Carlos King actually advocated for her in another one of his YouTube lives, saying basically that she brought the drama and the spice to the show. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And he was still rooting for her, even knowing that Monica ran a troll account where she trolled the cast of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And some of those women said that they had days where they woke up where they were terrified because allegedly she was driving up to some of the then castmates' home, and that is very dangerous in my opinion. So I get that from a drama standpoint, she definitely has some fans, and, including Carlos, who felt like because she brought the drama, it's all good. But when I think about, the thing of like feeling stalked, feeling violated, the trolling can feel like you're being violated 100%. It just seemed like perhaps the executives at Bravo thought, we don't want to position ourselves for the cast to try and band together and sue us because we have been made aware of what she did. She admits to running the troll page. There's video of her. She made videos of her driving up to some of their houses allegedly. And we don't want to be in a position where they could sue us because we are aware of her behavior and it comes off dangerous. And we don't want to seem like a network that endangers our cast. So I feel like, God is like favoring Melody right now because this is happening over at Bravo. So it's like high time for OWN to do the responsible thing as well. And I feel like this firing over at Bravo with Monica is the responsible thing that Bravo is doing. Are they covering their butts? Of course. But ultimately, the women's safety is also being accounted for with the cast not including her, allegedly, and in my opinion. So there is going to be another soundbite that Carlos gives regarding Monica, and he gave this a week ago. So we're going to get into that. But I want to talk about something that he defines called stunt casting. And I'm going to relate it to Love and Marriage Huntsville, of course. So I'm going to play this soundbite and then come back with my commentary.
And then the Tamar and JR and Candy and Todd of it all, I need to see how that's going to play out. I mean, if we're doing shenanigans on Married to Medicine, let's bring those shenanigans to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, for real, let's talk about it. And is the shenanigans meeting the stunt casting of Phaedra? I meant the, is it a stunt cast for Sweet Tea? Oh, that was a stunt cast. You bring up somebody's ex-husband. Exactly. That's stunt casting too, yeah. But in this situation, I feel like bringing Tamar and bringing JR on, I feel like there's natural tension between her and Candy because we know that they can work it out and they'll fall out again. It's like one of the best frenemy ships that I think we've seen in a long time that we didn't really realize we were getting. So I do feel like everybody on there, I want them to have active families as well. That was another reason for me bringing in Tamar. I mean, it works very well for some of your shows. So, active families, when we go back to the core of what this show.
Okay, so you heard DJ Richie Sky, whom I love, and Carlos King discuss what they call stunt casting. And it sounds like pretty much when you bring someone on the show, purposely just because you're with the ish, okay? You are with the mess and you want it to appear. Now, of course, they were talking about, so in the beginning of the soundbite, when DJ Richie Sky was mentioning Tamar Braxton, it's because these two were discussing how they would cast the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And DJ Richie Sky actually mentioned Tamar. So then they went into stunt casting, and then he mentioned Sweet Tea, meaning Married to Medicine. We all know that Sweet Tea is Quad's ex-husband's new wife, and they brought her on the show. So I want to say that, Carlos, in my opinion, has participated in stunt casting. When he brought on the Scott brother to antagonize Miss Van, and he was aware of the parameters for them not to interact, I felt like that was definitely stunt casting, and it did not land. That brother did not create any moments. I remember his shirt was inside out. I remember hearing that was because of whatever logo he had. He had to turn the shirt inside out. They were like meeting him. The two Scott brothers, Marceau and Maurice, met him outside at a park. It was just giving like, we keep him away from everyone, away from society. And so it was just the most ridiculous thing. And then even bringing Betty into the mix, I'm convinced that they get paid to purposely monitor social media and all those Facebook groups to try and decide if there's anyone that can be brought in to antagonize Melody. And definitely Betty reminds me of an example of stunt casting. So now this next soundbite that I want to get into is about Monica from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And he posted this. This was, of course, before today's firing. It being announced that Monica was fired, it was probably announced, I would say, about 2 hours ago, maybe 3. Very, very recent. So I have this soundbite where Carlos would really love to meet someone like her.
It'd be hard to find a Monica, right? I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get with that, but still. No, I feel like, listen, honey, Carlos King the First. If you're out there, I'm looking for the Black Monica Garcia. If you're out there, please DM me, email me. Carlos King is making a call to action, a public declaration. I'm looking for the Black Monica Garcia. And if you exist, I don't care where you are, I will build a show around you. Okay? I built a show around Melody Holt in Huntsville. So I built a show around Letitia Pearson in Jackson, Mississippi. Don't play with my skill set. If you are somebody that considers yourself the Black Monica Garcia, call Carlos King at 1-800-FIND ME. Because they all need one. You know they're gonna be dialing that number, right? I know. I know.
Okay. So that is him saying that he would build a show around the Black Monica. And again, when you think of Monica Garcia from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, that is someone who started a troll social media page on Instagram. I believe there's also a Twitter called Reality Von Tease, where she made fun of and trolled the cast of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and allegedly drove up to some of their homes, making videos, making fun of her driving up to their properties, and literally then joined the show. So very abnormal, not common. And I had to put myself in the shoes of the cast of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I had to self-review and say, Ebony, you know that would have bothered you if you knew that she created a troll page, made fun of you, and then joined the show and never disclosed it that she ran the troll page. Didn't even have the balls to say as soon as she joined the cast, ladies, I'm behind this troll page. Then her storyline would have been trying to set some trust amongst the cast. I guess she already knew that would be a lost cause. But my point is, it's just not normal to create a troll page and then join the cast of the people that you're trolling. That's just really, really strange. So Bravo had to do the responsible thing to cover their butts, because the women, they need to feel safe and they need to have some sort of idea of who they're filming with. So then this next soundbite that I want to get into, I find it so ironic. They are talking about, now again, they were talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and how, the show could be saved, could be better. And Carlos is going to talk about basically high salary, low performance.
These celebrity issues with everyday people. At the end of the day, these women were getting paid, some were getting paid more than $2 million for 4 months of work. A large part of them were getting paid over $1 million for 4 months of work. You are an entrepreneur just like me, right? I sign checks, okay? And this is coming from somebody who signs checks with my production company. If I'm paying somebody a salary of $2 million for 4 months of work, and I feel like you've been coasting for a year or two, you better believe I'm going to take my time to figure this out. I don't know anybody in the world or any job in the world where you can get paid $2 million for 4 months of work and give nothing. and you don't give 100% to it. It's to me, it's the gall of the privilege that you can sit up there and get paid so much money and not even give everything to the work. And now that the work is not there anymore, now you're seeing like, oh, wait a second, I'm really feeling, I'm now feeling what it's like when your employer is putting you on notice because of the high salary. We all go through that in America. Everyday people go through that all the time. So, and I love all the girls. I really do. You know that. And some of them are my friends. I don't feel sorry for anybody who made that much money and didn't do 100% of the work. And you're now wondering like what's going on with this show. That should have been your focus day one when you were making this gross amount of money. And I agree with the decision makers. I will take my time too. Richie, that's a lot of money. You want me to open up the Brinks truck, give out at least $8 million for the entire cast. Okay, let's just say it's $8 million total for all the cast members. You want me to rush a decision of investing $8 million into something that hasn't been great? I don't know nobody's job performance where you can be the number one employee and slide all the way down to number 3 or 4, and you expect your job to be safe. You expect me to rush to rehire you. No, that's not how it works in the real world. And I hope that whatever happens to these girls, I just hope that they understand that this is a job. And if you don't perform well, this is what happens to you.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, pot, meat, kettle. Okay, so first of all, I believe that he was talking subliminally about Candy Burris Tucker, Candy from Escape, who's also on The Real Housewives of Atlanta and has been consistently ever since season 2. It has been reported previously that Candy Burris Tucker is one of the highest paid housewives in the entire franchise, not just Atlanta. And the last time her salary was reported, she made over $2 million per season. And then he talked about some of the other women make over $1 million. I would imagine, I remember Portia was in that range, but she's not on the show anymore, as well as Nene Leakes, no longer on the show. And I believe at one time Kenya was. And then when they let Kenya go for one season because they were mad that she did not show that she was dating her now ex-husband, Mark Daly, then she came back. I don't know if they brought her back to the $1 million mark, but I'm sure she's there by now. Okay, so anyway, I found that to be so interesting that he talked about, you get to make so much money, over $2 million per season. And, what are you bringing? What are you doing? When we all say the exact same thing about the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, its own paying, 7 figures to their reality TV talent like Bravo. No, I highly doubt it. But they're still making a significant amount of money. I'm sure that they make in the 6-figure range. And I just feel like, the Scotts, they don't totally share their reality. And, they're getting paid a significant amount of money as well. And it's so funny because he mentioned about in America, everyday people, they do not get to perform at a lower level and continue to make their higher salary. I have said that in previous videos. I talked about in corporate America, you don't get to just kind of coast. And that is something that he said in this video a lot about coasting. And, sometimes you do have like a coworker that may be like a jerk, but they perform well, or maybe their attendance sucks, but they're friends with somebody, politics. So he was saying in these sound bites that he feels like a lot of politics are involved in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. and the women get paid a lot of money for lower performances. And that's what I think could also be described for some of his talent on his reality TV shows as well. So then, for this last soundbite, he talks about what he looks for when he is making a decision to get rid of someone or keep someone.
I think there's a lot of politics and personal feelings involved in that decision. Can I ask you a question? Of course. Okay. And I ask you because I feel like you would be best suited to answer it, right? How much of, when we talk about politics, right? How much of network politics play into a decision to hire or fire someone, even at the expense of the show? Listen, I will say this. I mean, listen. I know it's a difficult question. You know, because you have to do that already. But no. I'll answer it for you. Obviously, every network is ran and operated differently, right? One thing that I've always done, I don't take my personal feelings and apply it to casting decisions on my shows. The only thing I apply with my shows in terms of casting decisions is the performance value. That's it. It's all I do performance value, and I'm aware that some, there may be a season you were great, and there's a season when you fell off, and typically, like anybody, you pick it back up the next season. No one of my shows have posted for consecutive seasons. It's just no, ma'am. You would have to make difficult decisions because, look, let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, for example. We are taping our upcoming season right now. Yes, tell us more. No. No. Because, and I know people like Carlos, you rush to talk about other shows and not your own. Yes, honey, because I get paid to produce a show for a network, and I'm not going to tell my raindrops some tea about my show when the network is paying me to produce it in the current moment. So stop asking me to rush to my office to give y'all breaking news on my shows because I can't do it because I am getting paid to make sure my shows are sacred so y'all can watch it. Okay? And it is my job to ask him anyway. Yes. and it's Richie's job, okay, to report on it for you guys. That's it. So leave me alone. Just know I'm never going to do it for those reasons. Hello? Thank you. Anyway. I know that, but I got to ask anyway. No, you can ask me anything. You know that. It's fine. I always said this, though. I feel, and if you do your research, you would know that what I'm about to say is true because you will find quotes. I feel like when it comes to the housewives, I feel like a lot of it is politics based on who they're casting or firing or who they're keeping. There's a lot of people across all the franchises when I'm like, why are they still on the show? There's nothing more to offer, especially when the Real Housewives brand is sink or swim. It's you got one. It's like the Eminem 8 Mile song. You got one shot to give it all you got, and if you don't, you're out of there. So that's the reason why, Richie, you see some desperation from these women fighting for no reason because they're like, I need to get a second season. I need to get a second season. We talked about Eileen Davidson, like, who gets rid of Eileen Davidson? But you keep on Dorit? Like, it was like, well, what?
Okay. So first of all, I kind of feel like DJ Richie Sky kind of positioned Carlos to really just be hypocritical when he asked him, what factors do you go by when you make a decision on who to keep, who to let go, who to bring on to the cast? Carlos kind of just backed himself into a corner when he said that it's just performance based. He doesn't base it on, anything personal like friendships or favoritism. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that's just so hard to believe, right? But when it takes like such a serious situation, such as Revenge P, I'm pretty sure that network executives far above his pay grade, they have to get involved, y'all. They have to. If Bravo is covering their butts because of someone created a troll page and was driving up to the cast homes, she made her way onto the show and they're like, oh, we have to totally change this. Like it just seems like the signals are pointing towards OWN to do the same thing, And then I do want to also I want to flip the other side of the coin. It's been reported that Kiki is filming for season 7 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So perhaps they just talked with her about, just kind of calm down with talking to the variety of people, make sure nothing gets out, things like that. Maybe she just got like just a talking to, but you just never know. We'll have to see. But I do feel like the signals are pointing towards, a firing. What do you all think? Please let me know in the comments. Do you think like it's high time with everything that happened with Monica Garcia on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? And what do you think about, Carlos's stance on the whole performance-based decision making? I just find that to be very, very interesting. So I hope that you all are having a great week. We're going to have a wonderful Wednesday. If you had like a tough Tuesday, it's okay. The rest of the week will get better for you, I promise. I haven't been on camera in quite a while, so I wanted to do it. All right, so I will talk with you all soon. Please hit the like button on this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support, and I will talk with you all soon. Bye.